done. Got it. That means we will be done around 6, and that gives me 2 hours to hang out before I have to sleep. That works out well. I also, when you started recording, I was like, shit, where's my mask? And I was like, why do I need it? But I'm so used to like people are here, so I need a mask.
That's a strange. It's weird, but yeah, that's how it is now. Welcome to Cardigains.
Cardigains, especially because it's winter, because it's cold and it prevents me from getting beardsicles.
Yes, I don't hate the mask for that reason. It does keep my face warm, but the beard also keeps my face warm. So it's like,
right?
My hair is a little messy today because I just got out of the shower. It's all curly. You can't tell because my video quality is not the best. But one day we'll have the nice video quality.
You can tell where I just wore a hat at the gym.
I had a thought, actually. I have a thought that has to do with video quality. When we eventually have Cole on, he's going to have the best, because he streams, he's going to have the best one, like the best camera quality, and just, yeah. We got to step up our games.
It's going to be so good.
I'm excited for that. You know what else I'm excited for? No Way Home. Because we're going to talk about that for a little bit before we get into like fitness stuff.
All right.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this movie. So for those of you who don't follow Marvel at all, or movies or whatever, the third installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Spider-Man is coming out on December 17th.
Ooh.
Josh has purchased tickets, had extra ones, and I'm going to visit him.
This is what happened. Is my friend and I were talking about like when should the tickets come out? I don't know. In the trailer, it's like tickets on sale November 29th. We're like, okay, cool. I'm like, you stay up very late. I go to bed at like 8 p.m. and I wake up at 4. So I'm like, you'll check at midnight. I'll check at 4 a.m. I gave him, because I have scene points as well. I never use them. I have 33,000 scene points, which is like, it's like 30 movies, right?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right? So
that's a lot.
He checked at midnight. There was nothing. I checked at 4. There was nothing. I was at work, and I went on my phone, and I had an email from Scene, and it was like, hey, advance tickets. Like, oh. So everywhere else that in Canada, or at least Ontario, they were going live at 12 Eastern Standard. I'm like, okay, cool. It's 1:30. We wanted to go on Thursday, which is the 16th, maybe on Friday, or like whatever. Let's just do Thursday. You could get either very early times, like noon or 3:30 p.m., but I worked at that time, and it's all D-Box, which is cool, ABX, but it's 3D. Like,
those are fun.
Those are fun, but also I worked at that time, so we can't do it. So the only time we could do it was 10 p.m. It took me, Max, 45 to 50 minutes to be able to order tickets because there were so many people flooding the website.
Oh
it
my
was
God.
so slow and kept going down. And I ended up getting row C. So if like, we'll hold this up, right? So let's say this is the screen.
Mm-hmm.
This is the very back.
Yeah.
It's like 1, 2, the place where you walk. A, B, C.
Oh, snap.
So we're like kind of in front, but in the middle. And then I waited 4 hours and I couldn't get my confirmation email. It just wouldn't send. So my thought was, well, what if someone else ordered tickets at the same time? It says I have tickets, but I can't look.
Oh, froze.
I didn't get an email. So like, I'll just do it again. So I went back and then I got row E, which is like the middle, and I got like on the side, boom, boom, boom. So I have a total of 6 tickets. And I was like, my friends were like, oh, well, we're not together. If we bring other people, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. We'll move into groups. We'll reconvene after 3 hours and chat. I don't care. We have tickets. So we have Mo, Ali, Joshua.
Nice.
We have Maximilian, who's interested.
I'm coming.
And he reached out. Mo reached out to his friend.
Yeah.
I reached out to Mr. Jordan Rouse. Right? So, I mean, I'm just saying, we might have a cool little crew. If not,
that'd be awesome.
I'll just find some random people and be like, hey, I have 2 extra tickets to see Spider-Man. Do you want to see it?
Grab Cole and Megan, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
The only issue with that,
yeah,
is it would probably be like Mo, Ali, and myself at one part, and then you, Cole, and Megan.
Oh no.
But we can chat after.
That's right? True. Yeah, I had asked Rachel if she wanted to come, but she has an exam at 7:30 on Friday.
Is at 10:30 p.m.
Yeah.
3 hours away from you. The night before, which is fair.
It's not ideal for her studying. It's okay. So I'm gonna come early. I can come early in the day. I'm gonna see my grandma. Gonna see my uncle. Yeah.
Honestly, I could hit up my coworkers and be like, hey, do you want to switch? Like, I'll do 5 a.m. up to noon, and then you can do the afternoon. Like, I don't. It depends on if she has her son. I will text her now, even though we're on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for this trip. I had to get new tires today.
I'm sorry.
So I had to get new tires. Well, I'm getting my tires tomorrow, and I understand that you have quite the exciting story involving tire changes.
My lord. Let's take a bite of this pancake.
Take a bite of that pancake. Give me the rundown.
I guess it's a podcast. We have time to spare. Should I have the full story?
You can give us whatever you feel like giving us. And while you're doing that, I'm also going to look up the questions that we were asked. Because we've actually finally been asked specific questions about questions to be answered on the podcast. And I'm super excited about it.
All right.
Here we go.
So Joshua has a car. First car ever. Been driving for a few months now. Came with winter tires. I'm like, okay, there is a Midas. Probably shouldn't name drop. There's a Midas. Maybe like 200 feet from my work.
Word.
Like, cool. Drop it off, work, pick it up after, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Is it technically slander if we talk shit about this one Midas?
So people know whatever. So we go to this auto shop that's unnamed. And I'm like, okay, cool. I work from like 7 to 1, or 7 to 2. I'm like, okay, time slots 12 to 2. I bring it in at like 11:15. I say, hey, I have to work. I schedule an appointment. Can you please put on my winter tires? And my brakes are super weird. Can you please look at my brakes? They're like, yeah, 100%, awesome. We'll hit you up after. I'm like, cool. And this is also doing when I'm ordering Spider-Man tickets. So between 12 and 2, it should be done. I'm waiting. It's 1. No word. That's cool. 1:30. Nothing. 2. Nothing. 2:30. I give them a call. I'm like, hey, what's going on? They're like, oh, yeah, cool. So the guy's in. He's looking at your car. He's been looking at it for about 30 minutes now. And yeah, so your brakes were installed in your car by someone else, not at Midas. So unfortunately, it would be a $50 fee for us to inspect them. Like, I don't know anything about cars. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Cool, whatever. Safe and sorry. I don't want to die over $50. 3 comes along. They're like, this will take like 30 minutes. I'm like, cool. Half an hour later, it's 3 p.m. Nothing. 3:15. Nothing. 3:30, I called them. I'm like, hey, what's going on? They say, yeah, he's looking at it. First off, I'm like, he also already looked at it. So he looked at it, and then you were charging me for that without telling me? Like, what? Confused. They're like, yeah, we looked at it. It's like, this is messed up. This is broken. They're like, yeah, brake fluid leaking everywhere, so you can't brake anymore. I'm like, that's not true. Because what? When did it break? Like, when did it get cut? Like, your tires are really awful, and they're gonna have to replace anyway. And then this thing's broken as well. And you need more wiper fluid. Well, that's also not true. They're like, okay, cool. We can keep your car until 5. We'll give you a rental. You can drive home. You can pick it up tomorrow. I'm like, no. That's cool. I'm not 25. I can't use a rental. So
I thought it was 21.
No, it's 25 in Ontario.
Oh.
And I was like, no, don't touch my car. They're like, you sure? It's take another hour and a half. I'm like, no, I have been here for 90 minutes. I want to go home. We had to film a podcast. I'm like, I have to go home, please. They're like, well, we can give you an estimate. I'm like, cool. Yeah, whatever. I'll be there in 10. Show up. And they're like, all right, cool. I had to wait like 10 minutes, and this lady came out. She's like, oh, yeah. You got everything done, whatever. That'll be $1736.94. Like, what? They're like, oh, yeah. I'm like, what? You just put my tires on. They're like, well, no, this is for all the other work that we did. What? Excuse me? They're like, oh yeah, well, for the brakes and this, and oh, we put new winter tires on as well. I'm like, I didn't say to do that. Thank you. What? And they're like, well, so you have to pay or else you can't have your car. So you're holding me hostage. It's basically whatever. I'm an adult. Whatever. It's a learning experience. Whatever. Pay the money. It's bullshit. I leave. 10 minutes later, sir, are you? Also, they didn't have my other tires in my car. It was like my summer tires, and then there were other tires in my rims. But my winter tires I brought in, they were just gone. I'm like, so I just didn't get my tires back. Whatever. 10 minutes later, get a call. This was when I texted you, like, I'm not gonna film. I'm just not in it. They're like, sir, have you driven off the lot already? I'm like, yeah, it's 10 minutes. I went home. It's 10 minutes ago. They closed in like 20 minutes, by the way. And she's like, oh, so yeah, we actually didn't do any of the work on your car. That was just the estimate. I was confused about that. But since you drove off the lot, we can't offer you a refund.
Are you kidding?
What, ma'am? She's like, well, if we could just talk to your parents, like, we can get all this sorted out. It's just a lot of money you spent. I'm like, I don't. What? She's like, well, you don't understand. Like, we charged you, but we didn't do the work. I'm like, okay. She's like, oh, can we just talk to your parents? I'm like, ma'am, I've lived with my parents for like 5 years. I don't know what you want from me. She's like, okay, well, let's schedule an appointment and we can actually do all the work. Let's just say it's prepaid. It's like, when does that work for you? I'm like, no times this week. I'm not coming in. And I was like, ma'am, I have to go. I have to do stuff. We'll deal with it tomorrow. Like, whatever. Tomorrow comes around today, and I'm telling people this at work, and they're furious.
Yeah,
like,
no kidding.
People are very upset on my behalf. My coworker's like, I will call, pretend to be your mother, and I'm like, no, I have to be an adult. I have to deal with it. I go back, and I'm like, hey, so you charged me for all of this. You didn't do any work. And they're like, oh, yeah, like, you can come in later this week. I'm like, I'm not. Can I just have my money back, please? They're like, are you sure? It's like, we already charged you for it. Like, it'll be a big hassle. I'm like, I don't care if it's going to be a hassle for you. I want my $1,800 back. Ma'am, please. And she's like, oh, okay, whatever. Going through it. And she's like, well, this wouldn't happen. Like, I tried to explain it to you. Like, that's why I called you, to explain the situation. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to be honest. I don't want a conversation here. I'm like, yeah, it's my first time I have a car. Like, it's my fault. Like, she's like, yeah, you don't have to beat yourself over it. I'm like,
that's not your fault.
What? Ma'am.
Cool.
And I was just like, I don't want to
gaslighting you. Christ.
I'm like, she's like 80. I don't want to deal with her. She's losing it. So I end up returning money onto my credit card.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, cool. I have $1,000 extra on my credit card. And then to write me a check for the extra amount. Oh my god. On the plus side, I got the number of a very good mechanic in Kingston to go to instead. So that's why I didn't want to film yesterday. Plus other personal things happened, but I was just not.
Honestly, fair enough. That's I was talking to I was mentioning what happened to Rachel and my dad yesterday, and they're like, yo, he could take them to small claims court. Like straight up.
I was like, if you break down the story, they basically said, hey, you have to pay us $1,800 or else you don't get your car back. And then I leave and they're like, oh, we didn't do the work, but you left, so you can't have money back. Like, yeah, no. There were like suggestions like, hey, why don't you call your credit card company? You're like, yeah, no. I didn't do this. Give me my money, please. But we're good.
That would have been a good play. Oh,
I know. But we're good. We got the money back. The winter tires are on. They said that they had to be replaced. You know, they were bought last year.
They're fine. Okay.
They're fine.
How old are the tires?
I had to fill them up with air, but that's whatever. Went to go fill them up with air, and I rolled up. It's like 250, right?
Yeah.
And I heard like when I pulled up to the gas station, and I saw 93, 92, 91. I'm like, someone just filled up the tires. I swerved in, fucking took all the caps off, filled up my tires, booked it out of there with 2 seconds to go. Gas went down by like 15 cents.
Oh my god, yeah.
Filled up my car. Oh, I'm sitting pretty.
Oh, snap. So I don't know if I've told you, I also had some car issues, and go us for having a fitness podcast where we talk about everything but fitness in the first like 20 minutes. So I've had a slow leak in my winter tires for like basically since I got the car, which was like a couple of weeks ago. And I've just been filling it up and rolling with it. Excuse the pun. But yeah, so today I went to my mechanic. He's like, these tires are done. Like they're from 2008. You need to change them.
That's what, 13 years ago?
Yeah.
So many years ago.
I know. My second year of high school. Quebec High School. So I was in grade 8.
Oh. I don't even remember grade 3.
I remember grade 3. I remember all throughout the winter of grade 3, there was some kid that kept stealing my mitts, would just take them out of my cubby because we didn't have lockup. It was just a wooden box, and we put our stuff in there. And some kid consistently, every single day in the morning, dump them out, and they'd end up somewhere in the hallway.
No.
And I'm like 90% sure it was this one kid, Dale. And like, because he was the only one that he kept it. He came in, he's like, by the way, Max, someone took your mitts. I'm like, this is super suspicious, bud.
Was that grade 3? That was 2008. Oh, that was when some of the Pokemon, like the DS games came out. My favorite, personally. My friends and I, we would sit underneath the play structure. My buddy Theo and it was like Billy or something like that, playing Pokemon. Oh man,
nice.
That was swell. That was prime. Anyways, Max's car says very old tires.
It's very old. So I'm getting new tires tomorrow. And an oil change, apparently. Because the oil came off. Yeah, I got to check the oil. Easy peasy. Actually, my mechanic was surprisingly impressed by how not shitty my car was. Because my last one was an absolute shitbox.
Max, give me all the specifics about your car. Give me your social insurance number as well.
No. It's 555. So yeah. Shall we answer a question?
Well, I actually do want to hear about your car, but we can do the questions.
All right. So here's the deal. The new car or the old car?
The new car. What do you want to do questions? What do you want to do?
The Honda Civic. What do you want?
Oh, do you actually?
Yeah.
Hey.
The blue Honda Civic. I was very happy to get it.
Oh, dude. You saw my car. Yeah.
Yeah. I forget what it looks like.
Little white Civic.
Yeah.
2010?
2010. My car's older. But that's the thing. Everybody kept telling me to get Civics because they just last forever.
So my thought was, okay, I got my car at a decent price. After fixing everything up and whatever, it was like $4,000. Like total. Like buying it, registering it, all that. Because the thing is, it has like 300,000 kilometers. But I'm like, Civics from the 90s are still going around.
Yeah.
I'm like, this car is gonna last, you know? He's thinking about it, or he's reading a question.
I was answering a message. I've been summoned to Wig Night. Last week we missed it, but anyways, yeah, it's a nice car. I'm really happy with it. My old car was a Volvo S40, and it was really nice. It was a 15-year-old car. It had maybe 1,500 kilometers, 15,000 kilometers on it, which is nothing. The woman that owned it previously just left it in her garage, essentially. And like I got it for like $800. It lasted maybe like almost 2 years. And then the transmission decided to die.
I'm realizing if the transmission dies, I'm like, well, Civ, like, it was fun. Mm-hmm. I'm not spending all this money to fix you.
No, yeah, that's so much money to fix that.
Buy a hatchback at that point.
Yeah.
Max.
Joshua.
Let's talk about fitness on our fitness podcast. Let's get some fitness questions.
First things first. I want to give a huge congrats to my boy Sam Paquin. He broke hard this past weekend in the classic, the natural classic physique. He looked absolutely bananas, and honestly, I didn't see the other guys, but I know there was no chance they were taking him down. The dude is built different. Yeah,
he looks amazing.
He does, and he's so nice. Like, he's a super chill dude. Like, we've talked a few times, like at the gym, and he's just like always like he's in the midst of prep and just like, oh yeah, like he's just in a good mood. He doesn't talk like that, but like that's how I talk.
I like he's been brought up every week from like, oh, the dude who beat me. Oh yeah, this guy a monster. Oh yeah, my buddy Sam. Shout out to my friend Sam for killing it.
He's my boy now. I've decided. And if he sees this and decides we're not boys, well, I guess that's that. Anyways, let's talk about fitness. I did safety squat bar squats today, and they felt like death after doing back squats for a good like 3 weeks. It just felt weird because the mechanics are very like more upright, but also like it's just so different than back squats.
I very much want to try them.
Definitely do.
I feel like are they more like front squats than back squats?
It's like if you took both and put them together. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew you were gonna say something like that, and don't know why I expected.
It feels more like a front squat than a back squat because you're more upright and it's more like, depending on how you do it, obviously it's a more quad dominant exercise.
Right.
So me with my lifters on, like I'm fighting to stay upright, it's gonna be more quads. But yeah, it's a cool exercise. Definitely give it a go. I was inspired by like every IFBB pro open bodybuilder to do it.
I feel like a lot of people use it.
It's a really useful tool. And like not for nothing, but like in terms. Pardon?
There's one guy on Omega who exclusively does it, and he was the guy when I got my deadlift PR who like smashed me on the back.
Nice.
He has some of the biggest legs I've seen.
That's bananas.
He's like 5'9".
The hairy tips?
It's not hairy tips.
He's got massive legs.
Yeah. He's wild. He kills it. And it'd be very interesting to try maybe in
couple weeks after.
Yeah, but I don't know because I have another lockdown.
I don't want to talk about that.
I don't want to talk about that.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't even want to think. I don't even want to put that energy out there.
Gonna be good. I'm gonna train with Damien on Friday and Saturday.
Oh yeah, you're going to Ottawa this weekend.
So the plan is, he keeps saying the same thing. He's like, all right, you show up on Friday, we'll lift, we'll eat good food. He's like, we'll just have movies and a sleepover.
Honestly.
Oh, I love it. So
that's such a vibe, to be honest. Like,
I know.
Bro, that's all I want to do. That's all I want in life.
So the last 2 times I maxed out on squat, got a PR.
Nice.
Deads, got a PR.
Excellent.
This time's the horrifying one. Bench PR with Damien. I don't like heavy benches because I'm getting better at control. But on the way down, when it's like 80, 90%, my chest muscles just fire up. And I'm like, oh, it's going to snap. I don't like that. And I can't get over that fear.
You stretch?
Dude, I stretch so much.
Okay. So perhaps an idea that you could do, yes, I have a fidget spinner. I got it in a Kinder Egg. Ignore it.
I'm done.
An idea you could do is, that's good. Is like pause reps, but with like a pulse to train that lower end range so that it's like it's like it sort of preps your nervous system for the unpleasantness that is like bringing the bar to your chest.
So as we talked about the other day, this is week 3. So instead of doing 5 sets with heavy compounds, we did sets of 3 and then 2 sets of pause reps.
Nice.
Squats were all pause reps because that was when my abdominal, like the first rep, I just didn't like it. On bench, I've been doing sets of 155, and my friend was like, just use 135 for like sets of 6, and it was wild. It was very good though. And I had very good control, and explosiveness on the way up. But I'm excited, and to train with Damien, just have the hype there.
Yeah, he's an excellent hype man.
A very good hype man. I'm not confident about reaching my bench or squat goal or bench or deadlift goals before the end of the year.
And why is that? What were your goals again?
I'm at 345 dead. The goal was 365, which I might be able to.
I think you could.
I don't know. For that, I'm going from instead of end of the year to like February. Next time I test actually would probably be a better way to say it.
That's not a bad plan, to be honest.
Deadlift is solid. Bench, I'm at 200 even. Obviously, the goal is 2 plates.
Yes.
But I think that's very similar. With Damien, that's easy. You can get maybe like 205, 210, something like that. And then the next time I test, you get it. Squat, we set the bar kind of low, to be honest.
What was your squat? The goal
was 275. Last time I tested, I got 270. So I'm like,
I think you're able to squat 315. I think the issue just comes with one, confidence, and then the big thing is confidence that you can just like zone out and just focus on moving the weight. And with that,
I can do it. Like, for squat, it's the abdomen.
Yeah, that's what I was leading to. Like, if your abs okay, like
that's less of a confidence thing and more of just like I don't want to injure myself again thing. No, I'm kind of a loser, right? This is well known. And on January,
I disagree with that, but go on.
January 1st at 12 or 1 a.m., I am going to get 2 plates on squat. Or excuse me, 275 on squat.
That's dope. I love it. I kind of want to come for that. I'll reach Kingston.
Like, why not? Well, I made a joke about it. I'm like, oh, I'll get a deadlift PR on New Year's. And then I told that to Dwayne, the owner of Omega. And then he shared it to a few other people. And someone mentioned it. They were like, oh, you're really coming in on New Year's? And I was like,
is it going to be like a party?
Yeah, I guess. No one's going to show up. I've told people they can join, but it's like, I'm just going to be here. And, but then when I actually thought about it, I'm like, I can just do squat actually, because I know I can get it. And it's going to be a great way to kick off the year.
Yeah.
I apologize for taking over your chat about safety bar squats.
No, this is good stuff. I like hearing where you're at in terms of training.
Other than that, things are good. My second leg day is horrid now.
Tell me about it.
Deads for sets of 3 to 5. Hack squat, sets of 4 to 8. 4 sets of 8. Excuse me.
Okay, so I was like,
I'll throw on just one
for hacks.
I'll just throw on one plate and go all the way down and all the way back up the track. I feel large when I do this.
I love hack squat.
It's so good. Then we have single leg glute bridges. Sets of 15. Tough.
Nice.
I've been able to set up, kind of stealing Jeff Nippers, I'm going to be honest, this leg day. I can set up the reverse hyper now. So I can do 2 sets of 10 for a Nordic, then just move it back by like one rung, I guess you would say, and then do like glute. No, what's it called? It wouldn't be hyper extension. Glute, no. You know what I mean.
Glute extensions. It's like hyper extension, but like glutes.
I believe hyper extension is the correct word.
Yeah.
And you would just say back extension. Single leg calf raises, which are a lot of fun. And then I'll finish it off with, today I did long lever planks because I couldn't do any holds.
Oh.
So, and then I decided to do just a normal plank. So I can do long lever planks. So elbows are at eye level, feet together for like 45 seconds before it's very not fun. And then I was like, I'll do just like a normal plank. And it's like I blinked and the time was done. I was like, whoa. Damn.
Nice.
They're very effective. And yeah, if there's a certain French dude who does not incorporate a lot of ab training, I would highly recommend long lever planks. This is you.
I'm not that French.
But you still need.
I'm not French. I just need there. Throw back to that being my catchphrase all of first year.
That's good. It's a good catchphrase.
That was a good one. I remember once along that same narrative of me being the French guy in Kingston, I went out one night with a group of friends. We went to the spot, obviously, because the spot was the spot. And a little drunky pants, and I developed a French accent just because it happened.
Because it got you attention.
Yeah, definitely.
You do also get a little French when you get drunk.
Do I really?
Sometimes. There are some words where I'm like, you sound different.
That'll definitely. I was like, I'll refer to the corner store and be like, yo, you guys want to go to that dépanneur?
God. Your girlfriend is French.
My girlfriend is French. She is part Québécois.
There are so many words she says, and I'm like,
what?
No, it's not even that. I'm like, my thought is, I'm like, you probably say that, and Max tells you you're adorable.
It's because she is adorable.
I don't know. She sounds very adorable when she speaks. It's good. It's a good vibe.
She's scary when she's mad, though. Like, I've seen it. She's never been mad.
I would not. No. I would not want to deal with that.
Woo. Like, she gets frustrated with like random people, and I'm like, I'm just gonna let her do her thing. And like, this usually happens on the road when she's driving.
I would assume.
I'm just like, oh, I'm going to say anything because
it was wild driving in Montreal.
Oh, I hate driving in Montreal.
It was very interesting. Yeah, it was very interesting going literally from 0 to 115 in a matter of like 10 seconds. Yeah.
Wait a second. You weren't even in Montreal. Were you? Yes, you were. You went downtown. Okay.
I did. We went downtown at like 9 a.m. or something. So I was like, I don't want to deal with people. We're going to get out of here quick.
1 second. I'm going to cut it here. Hi, I'm in the podcast. Hi, podcast. Mom says hi.
Sandra?
Mom says hi. I might actually not cut it because that was very funny.
Max is like, shut up!
Never.
You can very clearly hear her go, hi, podcast.
Perfect. We're keeping it in.
Yeah, why not?
Absolutely.
I thought I was in trouble. I was concerned.
Oh, no way.
Like, stop it.
You were only in trouble once at my house, and we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, that's fair. I accept that. Honestly, driving downtown wasn't the worst.
Really? Dude,
it wasn't too bad. The worst was driving back because that was when we were going to your show, and there was like
traffic.
It was like a 50-minute delay. It was awful. And I'm stressing. I'm driving. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Traffic's pretty terrible. Yeah.
No.
Rachel and I strategically leave the house. So if I'm at Rachel's, we'll strategically leave either right before the traffic rush or right after when we're going to the gym, because we will stay like for an hour, like straight up just on the same strip of road, like the same 5 kilometers of just sitting there. I mean, Toronto traffic's pretty bad too, but like I don't live in Toronto, so I can't say it.
I would never want to drive in Toronto. That's why I like where I live. Kingston's like okay, but if I'm driving to see family or anything, I'm like, cool. I'm gonna see like 3 people down this back road, and I'll just drive for an hour.
Nice.
I know.
That is nice. Yeah.
Can I share a wholesome thing I did?
Tell me about wholesome things. Love wholesome things.
There's a lady who goes to my gym that I work at.
Yeah. And
we have an unlimited membership as part of employment, right? So as head coach, I need to do 2 classes a week.
Yep.
Failing. I got 1. I always get the 1. The second one's hard to schedule because I always have the first one like it's right. So I work Sunday to Thursday, and I'll do since I wake up at 4 a.m. anyway. I'll do a class at 6:45 a.m. on Friday. So my Friday is wake up, work out, eat 2 meals, take a nap from about noon to 1, eat another meal, go train again, eat tasty food. That's my day. It is awesome. It is the greatest day of the week, and no one can convince me otherwise.
Love it.
However, there was a lady at my gym who I made a comment of like, oh, I never see you anymore. Like, our schedules don't line up. She goes like 5 times a week, 6 times a week. We just only see each other once. Yeah. So I was like, hey, I'm going to do this class. And she was going to cancel. I'm like, I'm going to do this class. Like, you want to work out together? That was 6 or 7 weeks ago. And it's just become the Friday routine. And so 2 weeks ago, today is Monday, Tuesday? Today's Tuesday. 2 weeks ago, I know, 2 weeks ago, I had to do the 5:30 a.m. class because there's a guy who they're like, oh, come school this guy, run faster than lift heavier. I'm like, easy. I mean, totally. And I was like, hey, man, I texted her. I was like, hey, man, I'm sorry. It's 3 days in advance. I'm sorry. I am doing this other class. I apologize. You don't have to come with me, but I would really appreciate it if you did. For like 30 minutes, it's a one-sided conversation. She was just sending me like ... I'm like, shit. I'm in trouble. She rolled up to 5 a.m. She thought it was, people were wild. She's like, I don't know how they have so much energy. They're like running so fast. This lady's talking crap. This old dude in the corners like yelling at you. I don't know what's happening. I'm like, yeah, it's great. Last week, I was evaluating my boss at 8 a.m. I didn't want to wake up. So I was like, okay, I'll do 6:45. I'll do the first half. Shower, get ready, evaluate.
Wild.
I was like, hey, man, I'm letting you know 3 days in advance, I have to leave early. Was very not happy about that. She came in the day before when I was coaching, and she stood behind me, just staring at me for like 10 minutes. People would come in, and I'm like, oh, hey, Max, like, how you doing today? And he'd be like, oh, I'm doing great. I'm like, is that girl still staring at me? And they'd go, yeah, she's crushing her arms too. And I was like, yeah, I know. So we did the class. She was really mad because I had to run. She's like, you can stay. I'm like, no. And I was like, okay, I've never used it before. Downloaded the Starbucks app, pre-ordered, got her a little coffee, put it in her locker with a note. And I was like, sorry, I had to make up for me having to leave or something like that. And I went to shower, and I heard people come out of class, and all I hear is, what? That's so wholesome. And I'm like in the shower, like, yeah. I'm gonna be honest. And I came out, and she was like the happiest person I've ever seen in my life. 100% kind of made my week.
Aww.
And I wanted to share my wholesome thing with that.
I'm glad you shared your wholesome thing with us.
I don't think she hates me anymore.
That's a win.
A win.
I don't have any wholesome stories. Do you want to answer questions now?
Kind of.
Okay. Let's.
Oh, he's got no neck. I was going to shave yesterday.
I've been thinking about it.
I was this close.
Then I'm like, ooh. All right. So here we go.
Ooh.
From today.
Oh.
We've only got one. Because no one looks at my story, apparently. We got, can I get a what?
Stop.
And that is from Rafi.
Rafi. See, I have a story, but it's sad. I don't know if we want to get sad.
No. We're gonna hold off on the sad story, and we're gonna answer more questions because there were other ones that, yeah. So
shout out to Pudgy.
Oh God.
That doesn't look like an actual question.
Okay. So I got 3 good ones and 1 terrible one.
Let's go with a good one to start.
No, we're gonna start with the terrible one.
Oh.
Is water wet?
Kinda.
That's your answer.
Made of wet stuff.
So here's the deal.
Why would you bring it? Come on.
What?
Why would you ask that question?
I don't know. That's by Diana.
Diana, you didn't get your priorities straight.
It's okay. She follows up with a better question, and that is, okay, for real though, what's one piece of advice you would give to a beginner bodybuilder? Only one? I have so much advice I could give to beginner bodybuilders.
I'm trying to think if you like. I'm thinking there's nutritional advice, there's training advice,
there's
and
so many things that
overall advice that I'll give anyone.
Here's what I'm gonna stage this as if I'm talking to like 18-year-old Max, or even like, yeah. Don't. It's hard because there's a lot of things that I want to say. An 18-year-old Max, all things considered, did a pretty good job at his first show.
This is true.
Yeah. Considering he was like 18 years old, had no idea what he was doing, and just like came in third somehow.
I feel like this question is the answer will be very different if we're going from 18-year-old Max versus 18-year-old Joshua.
Yeah. To a stranger, I'm going to say, okay, I've got it. To a stranger, unless you are in it and you like bodybuilding and you're a fan of bodybuilding, don't. Because it kind of sucks. And that's like not training bodybuilding style. That's like
kind of the exact same thing I was thinking.
Competitive bodybuilding, if you don't like it, it's going to suck so much.
But that's with everything.
Yeah. That's with everything. But bodybuilding gets to a point where like it's going to suck. Like even if you're doing like my diet or Coach Greg's diet or whoever it is, like Coach Greg has a great time dieting until peak week. I have a great time dieting until like I'm like cutting my calories to like really like towards the end, and then peak week it's hell.
Right.
But like for the majority of people, like the entire thing kind of sucks, and that's due to a number of reasons that I'm not going to get into. But like for someone who's not into bodybuilding, or like as I am, or like for example you're into bodybuilding, you're getting into it and you like it more or less.
I feel like I'm very done with just training,
and
now I'm looking for a specific.
Yeah. So it's like it's one of those things where if you don't like it, it's gonna suck. But if you want to train like a bodybuilder and just not compete, focus on like a training style that you enjoy, that works best for you, and then just like get your protein in.
I would say I have 3 pieces of advice that I would give to myself. Number 1 would be eat.
I agree with that.
At 18, I'd gone up a bit. I was only like 125 pounds.
Yeah. Which still is kind of shocking to me because like you weren't that skinny. Or I don't remember you being that skinny.
Eat. Just chill the hell out. Just chill out.
Yeah.
There's a lot that you want to focus on. And the general thing I say to everyone is like, don't do it to look a certain way. Like, don't work out to feel a certain way.
Yeah.
That's
like in terms of bodybuilding, you do have to, the end goal is to look a certain way.
But if you don't enjoy it and you don't feel like it's something that you want to do, I'm like, come on.
One thing that I just thought of that you reminded me of with the focus on one thing or something is don't follow these Instagram workouts because there's like 10 exercises don't focus on so many things at once. Pick like 4 exercises per muscle group at the most, and just go ham on those.
Yeah.
And just like try your best not to get hurt. Like focus on your form and just focus on getting weights to increase and eat. I also would advise myself to just eat, because I was also very bad at, I'm still bad at eating.
I feel like for me, because Instagram as well, and just growing up, I had such a bad view of food. Mainly because out of my, if you include my mother's side and then just my father, that's 11 people.
Okay.
Very much, especially the youth, that's not a lot of people.
Right.
Like if I go to Christmas, there's gonna be 9 people.
Okay.
Like, it's not a lot. And not talking about when they were like children, you know, like the 5-year-old, they were all super overweight.
Oh.
And I'm like, I don't want to be like that. You've seen people in my family.
Yes.
They're large people. My brother, actually, in the last year and a half, has gone from a 42 waist to about a 34.
Good for him. Holy cow.
Lost a lot of weight. That is because he doesn't drink as much.
It's good.
He makes his own food at home.
That's what's up.
He quit a medication, which also adds to it a lot. But his go-to is he'll work on his feet for 10, 12 hours, walk about 20 feet to his house. So he rents a full house, and his boss just takes off like $1,000 from his paycheck. His house is like a 3-bedroom, and that's everything. Just $1,000.
Right on.
And it is literally like if where Max lives, it would be like the park. That's
pretty dope.
His work to where he lives. It's wild. We're gonna speak for 12 hours, eat some food. Right now, I don't know what he does because it's cold and yucky out. But then he'll take his dog, just go for a 2, 3, 4 hour walk.
Right on.
And that's he's killing it. But no, I just didn't have a good. I just didn't have a good view of food. Even now, and I posted that one video where I made a reel out of it as well, where I'm like shirtless doing a few poses. I'm like, man, this is the most food I've ever been eating my entire life. And this is the best I've ever looked.
And you were like topping out at 4,000 plus calories.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing that you are, where especially the last week, I've been super stressed. Last week I was doing 12-hour shifts, and it was rough. I know. So it's been hard, and I haven't planned my meals the best, but they were still consistent. And I'm like, as long as I get 3,800, I don't really care.
That's a good.
On days when I'm feeling it, I'll go for 42, 44. But as long as I'm getting around like 4,000, I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't.
The range is a nice spot to be, because like especially for like people who aren't competitors, like and even for competitors sometimes it's good to have it like a range. And for competitors, the range might be smaller, but like some days it's just really hard to get food in, and some days it's easier. So like mentally, you don't want to think like, oh shit, I've gone over my calories, I'm gonna get fat now. Oh no, I've gone under my calories, I'm not gonna make gains. Like the range helps you to stay within like a healthy mental state.
It's interesting as well. Today was a perfect example where normal people don't understand this. Normal people are hungry and they eat, and that's whatever. For me, it's either I don't want to eat, or shoveling it down.
Yep.
I'm hungry, we're eating, food tastes good. Or this morning, I am starving, but I took a bite and I'm like, I'm going to throw up. This tastes awful. My stomach hates it. I don't know why, but I'm just going to go through it. I found I've been cheating and I've been making a shake. The shake is $1,000. and I can drink it. It looks like sludge, but it's actually perfect because I've messed around with it a little bit, so it's not as thick. It blends a little bit better. And let's say today I worked from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. I had oatmeal at 5. Between 8 and 10, I just casually drank the shake while I'm coaching, doing my thing. At noon, I had chicken and rice. And then I had a blueberry muffin that my boss bought me at 1. And then I trained, did my thing, come back at 4. I had my pancakes. I still have about, I think, 920 some calories.
Right on.
But, and this is usually a thing that Max has seen with me, protein has been hit. So that's 900 calories of just carbs and fats.
That's good. So you can have like nice foods or like traditionally junk food.
Honestly, we're going to see how the night takes me. And
we'll see what happens.
I wanted poutine very badly the other day, but I've been very good about it. Where if I have cravings, it's either immediately, no, can't have it, or I'll message people, and then it's usually either, not that you deserve it, you don't earn food. It's like, hey, you've been consistent. Why not go for it? Even today, I felt very bloated. I was wearing a t-shirt, and I'm like, I can see my stomach through here, and I don't like how that looks. But I just because I'm bloated. It's not because I'm fat. I've been having a lot of water. Had to fart real bad for a while. Food like 2 times at the gym.
Oh my God.
Like my scale says I'm doing great.
There you go.
To clarify, when I say that, it's because body fat percentage hasn't changed.
A fancy scale.
That's a fancy scale with body fat percentage. And as much as people don't like to be specific about numbers because mentally it's not good, which I would agree with to a certain point, depending on the person, I am finding having body fat percentage as well as my overall weight and watching it fluctuate, it makes me feel good because I can see the trend and I'm like, okay, it looks like this, but if you break it down, it's like, oh, so that means
still going up.
It's slowly going up.
That's good.
And I'm like, okay, it's heavier on, I have more body fat percentage this day because I ate food, immediately went to sleep. And I also down like 3 things of water.
So I'm going to hold
this day. I apologize.
It's all good. So we've got like 3 more questions to answer. 2 more. What's the timer?
Well, the story. We got like half hour.
Oh, word.
Timer has 20. It's 5:30 right now exactly.
Okay. I'm getting picked up at 6:15. Okay. We're good.
We're good.
We're good.
Oh. Moral of the story. Eat. Don't stress about it. Just have a good time. If you don't like it, don't do it.
Yeah. I love it.
You might be amazing at it, but if you hate it, like...
Yeah, it's like, if you're not into if you want to try it, find yourself a coach that understands that this is like an experience that you want to have, like a good experience that you want to have, because that could go one of 2 ways. Either they don't give a shit about what you do, and they're just like, yeah, keep dieting, and they like don't care, or they're just gonna be like, no, you have to be super strict. And to an extent, like the latter one is kind of the one that you would rather have, because you want to have guidance in that context. Yeah. Anyways, next question is a cool one. So we got 2.
Thanks,
I like
Diane. Is that who it was?
Diana. So this is from Rachel, and it is how to improve confidence and stop comparing yourself to others. This is a big one.
I've talked about this a few times, kind of.
Yeah.
Improve confidence. Stop comparing yourself.
Yeah. So I would like to take the lead on this one. So
no.
Well, you know what? I will. I feel like there's no structured way to overcome like that sort of issue. And I think, so speaking from personal experience, the only thing that helped me become less self-conscious and become less like comparing myself to others, because I still do it. I'll just try to, what I try to do when I find myself comparing myself to others is I take a step back, I realize I'm not that person, I'm me. And then I kind of try to remove that other person that I'm comparing myself to from the equation entirely. It's
Right.
like, okay, I have to stop thinking about that person. I'm just gonna think about me, and I'm gonna think about, hey, like for example, like such and such person has like ridiculous arms. I have trash arm genetics. It's like, okay, I don't have the best arm genetics. I don't have great arms. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this as motivation, and I'm gonna try my best within like a healthy parameter to help myself embrace what I can. Like I'm still better than I was.
This is true.
That was a mess of a sentence. I'm so sorry.
You got it.
I'm gonna push myself to do better, to improve without it becoming obsessive. And I'm gonna also realize that where I'm at is better than where I've been. That's what I meant to say.
Always try to be better than the person you were yesterday.
Yes.
I agree with that. In terms of confidence, I don't really know. I just faked it. I just fake it till I make it.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, like
that's what I was gonna say.
I'm very
too,
not confident a lot of times.
Yeah.
But in terms of not comparing yourself, for instance, out of all my dude friends, everyone that ever hung out at the gym, I am the smallest, I am usually the lightest, and I am 100% the weakest.
We don't say
the only thing I can
say the less strong.
Comparing, the only thing I can beat people on are Damien and Gilberto on bench because they don't bench. I can beat Zach on squat because he has a quad injury. Right. So like for me, I was always just not happy about it. Sometimes it bumps me out as well, but then I also have to realize that like, yeah, when I started, I couldn't squat for 2 years.
Oh my God,
I couldn't bench. I had to use a 35-pound bar to bench, and even then, it was awful. Like so if you compare myself to myself, it's like I'm amazing.
Yeah,
way better than I used to be.
Dude,
happier.
The amount of change that you've gone through, holy shit!
It's weird.
It's bananas.
I remember I have a good story about confidence actually. Well, the first time I like stood up for myself, but no, I just realized you can't compare to other people, and then I realized as well. Let's say Gilberto. I'm like, this guy's super strong. I think super attractive guy. He looks good, whatever. Every time I talk to him, he's like, man, I wish I looked like you. What does that mean? He's like, I'm fat. I don't do this. This sucks. This sucks. Like, you're super skinny. You look really good. And I'm like, I realized that a lot of things that I perceive as a weakness or a flaw, other people see as a strength and something that they don't have.
That is a very cool thought.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I remember one of the first times that we talked, you made some comment about my chest genetics. You were like, I wish I had chest like you. And I was like, yeah. I still think about that. I'm like, yo, this dude who is like the most physically built person I've ever seen in my life, I'm like, so he was like jealous of me? What?
I'm very jealous of your chest genetics because you just have like perfect symmetry down the middle and it just fills out.
I also don't really train upper chest.
That makes me very upset.
I do bench, dips, and high to like low flies. But dips, I don't know what dips target. It's more.
It's like the whole thing. Kind of. Depends on angles. All right. That's
Anyways.
I feel like we've successfully answered that question.
We've very successfully answered that.
Yeah.
Can't worry about what other people think.
Like, it's very hard, and it takes a lot of mental training, but eventually it does, like you do find yourself just be like, yeah, fuck it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Max can agree, but I always get grief at work because I'm always flexing in mirrors and stuff. And I'll do this as a joke sometimes, but like 50% of the time, it's because I see myself and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's so cool. What?
That wasn't there last week.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Or like we're doing forearms today, and I'm like, whoa, that's so cool.
My lighting is terrible. Hold on. There we go. But yeah, no, I agree. And one more question is best foods for calorie deficit. This is interesting.
Depends on what your macros are. Depends on what your goals are.
Yeah.
Anything that this was a good quote I heard. I'm gonna butcher it. I don't remember it. A few months ago, and it's like, okay, well, you can either eat low filling but high calorie foods or high filling low calorie foods. For me, at nights, I like to relax a lot and go on walks. You can read into that. And I will eat frozen blueberries because they're so much cheaper than grapes. Grapes are so expensive. It's like cheese. But they're very filling. They're very tasty and they're incredibly low calorie. It stains my fingers blue.
No.
My fingernails, kind of.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
A little bit. But no, like it, and it fits my macros. I usually need, after all of my meals and snacks, whatever, I usually need another like 100 grams of carbs. And I'm like, cool, I can throw those back. Maybe have some fruit, a little bit of peanut butter, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fruit, honestly.
Yeah, fruits and veg. And one more question. So there you have it, fruits and veg. But also depends on your calorie goals.
It very much does depend.
Yeah. Find things that you kind of enjoy that'll keep you more or less full. It'll make it easier. And our last question, and then we're going to talk about some other stuff. Which one's more important, buys or tries? And this was, I can't find the question itself. But Kevin asked it, and the person who asked the previous question, I don't know their first name, but on Instagram, they are Artistic Days.
I feel like Max and I are going to have the exact same answer for this.
It depends.
Yeah, but also triceps.
But it depends.
It very much depends on your genetics.
Well, but in terms of importance.
Even still, would be triceps.
Yeah.
Pushing movements.
Yeah, just functionally, it'd probably be triceps. And I remember one of my cousins brought this up, like the biceps by themselves just have no function, like functionality, which like isn't false, but you got to consider like reaching, grabbing, moving things, because your bicep does all of this. Well, not this, but it does this as well. And like, even just when I'm talking like so, my biceps are still being activated and they're moving. So it's like, if you're a power lifter, you don't need biceps.
No.
Triceps. Yeah. Or you kind of do for like bracing into a squat, but like other than that, like it's not that important. And even then, it's not that important. If you're a bodybuilder, both are very important.
Both are very important. But I feel the general consensus I see is that if you did legitimately have to pick one, it's usually triceps, just because it's just a bigger mass. There's a whole extra head. A whole extra head to it.
Bingo. So it's like that much more. It's a third of this, an extra third on the bicep. It's like, no, yeah, it's too. Oh my God, my mustache is getting in my mouth. But yeah,
That's why I shaved all there.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Get the chance.
I got the hacks. No, even if someone take off, unzip the cardigan, unbutton, take out one arm. So even if my arm's like this,
yeah,
look at, I'm like, cool, biceps cool, but in reality, like the tricep
takes up a lot more mass.
When I'm like this, flexing the bicep, yes, but
when you're
not even relaxed.
Mike Emma told me. So when you're hitting the front double, and my arms are garbage, so please, I apologize. Okay.
My arms are also okay.
Your arms are better than mine.
Meh.
Like when you're hitting the shot, if you close down too much, you start to lose tension in the triceps. So you gotta fill it up so that you keep that fullness at the bottom. Also just depends on like what you're doing. I don't know.
It depends.
It depends. Yeah. That answers your question, Kevin.
Those are good questions. I like that.
Yeah. We're gonna try to get more for next week.
Yes.
Very excited about that.
So my timer is 8 minutes. It's currently 5:54.
It is.
I'm having fun with Cardigains. I'm gonna chat for another like 10 minutes, but
yeah,
whatever Max wants.
We're having a good time. I'm chilling. I got like it's 5:44.
Yes, 5:44. I apologize.
Oh, good. There was a point that I wanted to bring up, but I forget it now.
That's it.
Yeah. That's it. It's the end of the show. Bye. Yeah, I'm excited to come down. We're gonna hang out.
Like we saw each other last time, but we didn't really hang out.
No. You came down for the show. I don't remember what happened the next day.
Next day I left.
That's true.
Next day we got breakfast and some lady like kind of yelled at me in French for not understanding French, and then I left.
That happens to you a lot.
Yeah. English old ladies love me. French old ladies, I don't know. Italian ladies, I think no one likes me. I think I've been known as good looks.
Yeah. And that's impressive because you got tattoos.
This is impressive. I don't think she knows I have tattoos.
I don't think she knows either. Or she might know. She probably knows. She's quick.
I just have to shave the beard next time I come up, and I'm set.
Yep. That's gonna be my Christmas gift to her and my mom. I'm gonna shave.
Does Sandra not like it either?
My mom hates my beard.
Why?
I don't know. It's like it's not unkept, but it's not like as nice as it could be.
My stepfather always had a goatee. I've known this man for 14 years. He's just always had a goatee. I've never seen him it's always the same. He has not changed his look. Dude's also tan. That's so tan.
Pardon?
He's Dutch, but he's orange. This man has such a good tan on.
Lucky him.
I know. But I'm one of the only people who can grow a beard in my family. I'm whatever. I like it. I honestly, because we trimmed a bit.
Yeah.
I'm looking slightly handsome today.
Bro, you're handsome every day.
It's a good look. And I want to shave just because I want to see my jawline again.
That's a mood. Kind of same, but I don't know how filled out my face is, so I'm self-conscious about that. I have one single bald spot. That's okay. It's okay. I still need this part to grow in. But speaking
I might shave it. I'll shave it. I'm gonna shave it to a mustache and have that for a bit, maybe. It's funny, but
Speaking of mustaches, our officially mustached man, my younger brother Peter.
no.
He has the dopest stash.
He always has a great mustache.
He does. Just like he's Omni-Man. He's the Omni-Man of Dorval.
Oh my god, that was such a good show. I cannot believe I didn't watch that until like August.
I know. I kept telling you to watch it.
Oh man.
I wanted to talk to you about it for so long, and then you're just like, yeah, I'll get to it. Like,
it was the same with so many different shows. I just watched the first episode, and then I was like, nah. And then I just super got into it.
Yeah.
When does season 2 come out?
I don't know. Have you checked out The Boys, though?
I have still yet to check out The Boys.
That one gets really dark. So just like, get ready. It was tough. Not that it was tough for me to watch, but there was like certain instances that just gave me anxiety. Like anything with Homelander just made me like the whole mood was just stressful.
2022 is what I'm seeing here.
Nice.
It's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It also gives me like Dragon Ball Z vibes. It's kind of the same plot as Dragon Ball Z.
I have to continue watching Dragon Ball Z.
Well, it's like this alien dude comes down to Earth. He's supposed to destroy it, but instead he just hangs out and falls in love with people. Kind of, honestly. But to be fair, I do also going into it knowing. Can I spoil Invincible? People care.
It's been out for a while.
Like 4 minutes. We got like 4 minutes left in the podcast.
Yeah. So spoilers for Invincible. You've been warned. Go.
So I went in knowing all the memes. I'm like, okay, this dude's gonna kill his son. Like Omni-Man's the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
But then even just watching the first episode, end of the first episode, he basically kills like the Justice League.
Yeah.
They call it like
I totally forgot what they're called. But that universe's equivalent to the Justice League. He just wipes them out and like.
So not even going in knowing that he was a bad guy, but watching the premiere, I'm like, oh, he's like actually like he doesn't care. But it's very interesting and it's cool that like even if you look at like this dictators nowadays, like in real life, like no, if someone has that amount of power, they just don't care. And I really enjoyed Omni-Man's philosophy. He was like, I'm stronger than everyone else. They're awful. So when he was talking about his wife, and he's like, I live for however many thousands of years. She's kind of like a pet to me. Like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Which is fair. It's good. It's kind of like when people talk about how immortality would be the worst superpower. It's like, you would just get bored.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it'd be hard. But see, the thing about Omni-Man is like, he's obscenely powerful. Plus, he's like, basically almost immortal. So he's got all these years plus like this immense amount of power. See, like if I feel if you took a human being, like if you took me or you, made us immortal, we just start learning things.
This is true.
To occupy our time.
He was also like, we weren't born like that. He was born like that.
Yeah.
Because there's societies, they just like kill weak people.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Ready for a tangent?
Yeah, I like our tangents. All right.
I read about that. There was a Marvel comic involving the Thing where, because he does not age when he's in his rock form, right? Which is, there's instances where he is like transformed back.
I mean, I'm sure there are. I don't know of them, but like probably.
Yeah. Right. Everything happens, right?
Everything happens.
No, he ages at such a slow process that there's some character who goes forward in time, and they go to the year 3000. Thing's still there. If you go to the year 5000, he's still there. They go to the year is like 8,500 and he's still alive. And they're talking to him about it. He's like, honestly, dude, I just want to die. He's like, I've lived for 6,000 years. He's like, the last cheeseburger was made 3,000 years ago. He's like, I just want to die and eat a cheeseburger. And at some point, he's just become so bored that he's like, yep, fuck it. I'm going to transform back into a person. And he does that. And he just shriveled up and dies.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, what are you going to do? 6,000 years? Dude, I've been alive for 22 and I'm going to be bored sometimes. Like, can you imagine?
That's not a good sign, Josh.
Yeah, it happens. We have our moments. But I'm like, I'll just wear this and matches my shirt.
Oh, yeah.
But like, it would be wild.
Yeah.
But going back to Omni-Man,
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens in season 2.
Who's your favorite character?
Dude, I just love Steven Yeun, honestly. So,
Fair
like,
enough.
I do really enjoy him. He's also a guy who's around our age who just gets superpowers one day. He goes to throw trash out at the burger place he works at. He just whips it in the orbit. He's like, hey, I got superpowers.
He's
just learning.
Bro.
And his mentor turns on him.
Yeah.
Which that's the ultimate. That's always in like the first story, I feel. It's like the first person that they open up to turns on them.
Yeah.
It's a very classic.
My favorite character in the entire series is Alan, the alien.
Alan was pretty great. You mentioned Alan after he showed up the first time, and then he shows up again.
That is so funny.
That was like after like everything went down, all these people died. It's like, no, he's just gonna go talk to the alien dude on the moon for a bit.
Just gonna chat. He's just and it's Seth Rogen.
It is Seth Rogen.
Yes, Seth Rogen. It's just funny.
There was a lot of good voice actors in that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So we've talked about fitness for a little bit. Go us.
We nailed it.
Yeah.
Well, that was episode 4 of Cardigains.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Been a month?
I believe so. This is our 4th week. I'm going to try to get it up by Wednesday. If not, then we're going to see about it on Thursday. But whatever happens, happens.
Whatever happens. I'm going to ask questions for next week.
Yeah.
100%. Be classic YouTube people. Throw out some comments because I want to know what people think.
I also want to know what people think. And don't hesitate to ask questions down in the comments below because we're sure to answer them and we have a blast just getting philosophical. We'll try to answer like 4 an episode and just whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And without further ado,
My wrist.
Smooth.
Cardigan's off. Show's over.
Cardigan's off. All right. Have a great one, guys. Oh. Hold on.
Here it comes.
My lighting is so bad.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. That'll be fun. Peace out, everybody. Have a great night. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Josh is going to go ice his hand. And that is it.